Inside Dance TV, and my name is Sarah. More and more we're seeing dance being presented in new ways and in diverse locations. So, for this episode, we're speaking to 4 artists about their game-changing projects. Coming up, we have choreographer and dancer Casson, followed by Maxine Doyle from Punchdrunk. But first, we're going to speak to 2 choreographers from New Movement Collective about their new production, Nest. Why do you think it's important to bring dance outside of the theatre?
I think audience nowadays are looking for new ways to experience performance and dance, and I think it's quite exciting to be up close to dancers and not sort of be sitting from afar and watching, you know, on the stage where you sort of feel there's a kind of a wall between the performer and the person watching. So in this way, that wall is completely broken down, and I think that's something that's quite invigorating for an audience member. Well, I guess we fell into it quite organically because of our first collaboration where we worked with the Architecture Association, and that brought us into a really derelict space in Covent Garden about 4 years ago, and we really had a great time. I think they had a really great time, and the audience, the feedback we got was really positive. So I think we kept that relationship with the Architecture Association for quite a while. It was an ongoing thing.
Yeah, we're still working.
We're still working with it, exactly. As soon as you come in here, you just get a sense of, I don't know, like it's just, you can't help but feel some sort of intrigue into where you are because it's old, because it used to be limelight. Like you know, a lot of people have had their own kind of time here, sort of, you know, many years ago. So I think so many things get thrown up into the air straight away, just with a feeling, how you can then take that feeling on board and share it with one another, and it kind of evolves and builds.
I'm here in a sunny London park to speak to world record holder Casson, who believes everyone is a choreographer. So tell us about the dance you made and how it came about.
So the dance we made is a project that kind of came about from 2 things. First of all, I was working on a project with some adult non-dancers, and I was creating a piece on them, and I actually didn't teach them any steps. I got them to create all of their own movement, and giving them permission to kind of be creative just was a really kind of, I don't know, it was a really affirming experience. So it was nice to see the joy that they got from all this creativity. And the other side was a musician that I met, and he challenged himself to create a new piece of music every single day and released it online. So basically, somehow these 2 ideas came together in my head, and we ended up with a project where I go to a public space, I try and find members of the public to give me dance moves, and then I stick all their dance moves together to create a new dance, and then place it online for people to see. We found out in March that we have created a brand new world record for the dance piece with the largest number of choreographers. So over last year in the summer, we worked with 152 people across 20 different locations in London, and I combined all of their dance moves together and created one performance piece, which was a 12-minute solo that we call 152, which then set this world record. It was a bit mad because I had to take essentially 4 seconds of movement from every single person that I worked with and then stick it all together. So it was a bit like dancing a shopping list. The 1 minute you're kind of being a dinosaur, and the next minute you're doing a moonwalk, and it doesn't make any sense, but you have to try and make it make sense. So it was it was a fun experience.
So why do you feel it's important to create work in this way?
Well, the catchphrase for the show is "Let's make a dance," and it's the idea that actually I'm inviting anyone to kind of help me make a dance. I think contemporary dance can be quite scary, and a lot of people maybe look at some dance performances and they go, well, I have no idea what it's about, or I feel like there's something missing. So it's great to kind of open up that choreographic process, so then they get a different type of understanding about the work. And then hopefully, if they understand it a little bit better, then they get an appreciation for the art form, and they might hopefully go to the theatre and see a show, or even take a dance class. So if they do that, then great. But I think fundamentally it's also about the joy of dance and just sharing that with people. I really believe that dance is a great thing. If we're very lucky to be doing what I'm doing, so if they can walk away with a smile on their face and can have experienced something new, then great, my job's done.
Being one of the first companies that has brought dance within the immersive theatre world, why do you think it works?
Often physical expression can say so much more than words. And I'm a huge, fan of Pina Bausch, and I always, had kind of mantra of, it's not how you move, it's why you move. It's all about what moves you. And I think audiences really relate to that actually. You can engage with a body that's crying or in pain or full of joy. You can feel that emotional sense, I think, rather than being told that's what you're supposed to read. And I've always been very interested in, and I'm always pushing this, I think, emotion and how you find a language that has an emotional impetus. And so audience don't see them necessarily as dancers, they're just characters, and you believe them as people. I think in this work you're not looking at the choreography, you're feeling the dancing, or you're seeing the story.
So how do you and Felix collaborate to create such seamless storytelling?
There's always a myriad of classical texts or stories that we want to explore. But the project develops because of the building. So the current work that we're showing, the Drowned Man, that happens over 4 stories of an old post office sorting office. There was no infrastructure. It was just literally a series of empty, massive warehouse spaces. And so we were kind of battling with how can we manage this huge space? How can we make that work? And then the idea of the Drowned Man appeared because we thought, well, we need to build so much. Then we began to embrace the idea of a film studio and the idea of everything being fake. And that's so that's how the Drowned Man evolved, because of that building.
How collaborative is your process with your performers?
So we'll have definitely a structure and starting points and mini treatments for each scene, and then we'll bombard the performers with the key texts, with video, with images. And in fact, for the Drowned Man, actually, our rehearsal room was great. We just had a wall full of all the design images, and then a wall full of all the costume images, and then loads of books and loads of DVDs, so that people could really get lost, could really feed themselves before we went into the building. The movement language just really should stand up in its own right in a black box space, so that then when we transpose this to the space, then it suddenly, hopefully, the space and the design explode the movement language, and they begin to offer the language more possibilities, more frames. In the Drowned Man there are 30 performers, and there are multiple stories. Everyone has their own story. If you were to lay the show out in a linear way on a stage, it would run about 9 hours. So it's a massive kind of undertaking, and you really demand that the performers take ownership and they make their own show. And we kind of sell it like as if you're a lead within your own movie. And so the dancers play a huge part. I mean, some of the choreography I might really I might not even touch, actually. Some of it I might really get my teeth into. I mean, I'd like to get my teeth into all of it, but there's no time. And then actually I think that because we have such a great company, and what I love is the richness of each individual artist that works with us, and I think that gives the work a kind of a depth. I think it would be boring if it was just me and just my movement, vision or language. So they are co-creators, actually.
So that's all we have for this episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Twitter. So until the next time, see you later.